and welcome to the Knit Sip Happy podcast. My name is Nancy and I'm coming to you from the east coast of Canada, just outside of Moncton, New Brunswick. Today is episode 46. It is Tuesday, February 11th. It is a cold, very cold, bright, sunny day in my part of the world. I think it was minus 22 we woke up this morning, but blue, sunshiny skies. So their solar panels are pumping out some electricity, which is great, but it's super cold, so we've got lots of heat on. So trade-off. How have you been? I think it's been 3 weeks since I was here last, but I could be wrong. Time feels like it's, now that we're into February, is going really, really fast. January felt super slow, and February seems like it's going very quickly. So I'm okay with that. Yeah. I will chit-chat along the way, of course, as I always do. I will try and keep it somewhat to the end if you're not interested for lifey stuff. Where you can find me on the interwebs, I'll put a screen up here. I am Knit Sip Happy everywhere. So you can find direct hyperlinks to everything I talk about down below, where to find me, Ravelry project pages, people that I talk about. If I have missed anything, just let me know and I will happily add that in. There are also chapters. If you don't feel like watching a certain section, you can just skip along to different sections. So today is primarily knitting with a side of stitching. I do have some spinning I've been doing, but I'm not going to show you it this time. I just finished the singles for the wee chickadee fibre that I showed you last time, and I started plying last night. So it's on my e-wheel, and I don't want to have to rip the singles and be able to take the bobbin off to show you. So I will just show you that next time. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at it thinking, I'm not sure if that fractal really worked for me. I'm not sure if I've muddied the colors, but we'll see when it's all done. I may love it when it's done, but this work in progress right now, I'm not really loving the way it's looking now that I'm plying it, but we'll talk about it next time because I may have changed my tune. What I'm drinking today is a lovely Pinot Noir from New Zealand. Nice and light, easy to drink in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. But I also wasn't sure what we're having for dinner tonight, so I thought it would be a good bottle to open, and it'll pretty much go with anything. I don't think we're planning on having beef, so probably something chicken or porky for dinner tonight. I haven't pulled anything from the freezer yet. I'll do that later. Yeah, it's been busy. I'll leave it till the end. What I'm wearing. This is my Floozy cardigan, I don't want to stand up, by Libby Jonson of Truly Myrtle. I test knit this pattern when it first came out, and before I was still learning things. This is too big. I would love to knit another one. I love this cardigan. It's simple mosaic slip stitch knitting. Short rows in the back. You can see this stockinette section gets really deep at the back, but the neckline is too wide. My natural armpit is here, so it's too deep. So yeah, I need to do this again, do a smaller size, and then do my A-line increases to get me the space below the bust. So if I ever talk about modifying my sweaters and, in short term, you can look up. I will put an information card up there about a video that I did about how I modify my knits to fit my pear shape. So smaller up top and then much bigger at the bottom. Big bum and thigh. So I need to make my garments look like this so they fit nicely without me having to tug or be constantly moving around trying to get the knit into the right position. So that's what I'm wearing. I did it out of a lovely merino cashmere nylon blend. So it's beautifully soft, but it has pilled like the very devil. And I do glean this quite a bit, but it's still pretty pilly right now. But I love wearing it because it's super soft. Super soft and comfy. I just threw it on today. I'm wearing track pants, jogging pants at the bottom today. And that's why I'm not going to stand up. Yeah, so today is going to be knitting with a little bit of stitching. As I said, no spinning. I don't have any crochet today, and I'm light on FOs, but heavy on WIPS. I've cast on and started a whole bunch of things. So let's get cracking with the knitting, shall we? first FO is something that I said you wouldn't be able to see next time. It's my aunt's bed socks. I'll put a picture in here. I mailed them off not long after I talked to you last time, got them in the mail. She had them within 6 days that I was able to send them airmail. So I was super pleased with that. So she's gotten them plenty of time to still be able to wear them in the cold weather. So just as a reminder, this is the yarn that I used. Oh, my bag is getting ready to tip over. I used this Superba Rico Fair Isle self-striping sock yarn, held double with a natural mohair. This was the the Drops Kid Silk blend. So I didn't use all of the mohair. I did a shorter leg. I talked about last time, these are bed socks. I want them to be comfortable, not pulling up too high or sliding down because they don't fit her calf. I have loads of this left, and I knew I would, to do either another pair of bed socks or a full pair of fingering weight socks, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards, I think. I have leftovers of a yarn that is this kind of smoky purple. I think would be really nice for heels and toes. So for now, this will go back into my stash. But I told you I would update you on those socks, and they have been received and they fit. She's actually requested a pair of regular socks now that can go in her slippers, because when she said she would like a pair of socks, I asked if she was looking for something to wear in her slippers or something in bed, because she'd mentioned being cold. So she had said bed socks, but now she's asked for a pair of something that she can wear in her slippers. So that's a fingering weight pair. So I don't think I'll use this yarn again. I think I'll find her something else out of my stash. She tends to like very pale, pinky, mauvey colors. Pale pinks, purples, pale blues. So I'm sure I can find something in my stash that would work for her for some fingering weight socks. No rush on that. I got a lot of things cooking at the minute. So finished object number 1, I can't show you. Finished object number 2, you haven't seen this as a WIP. This is a pair of baby pants. They looked hilarious when I was knitting them, and they still look pretty funny. Oh no, I had started this when I was here last time because it looked like a hat. I had just done a couple of inches and some short rows. So you can see I put a little marker in there for the back, but it's kind of pretty obvious with those short rows to bring it up over the bum up into the waist. So these stretch like crazy. This is a free pattern on Drops. I think in my first Drops pattern, I've heard things about their patterns that they can be difficult to follow and not always the best pattern. It was okay. You kind of have to get a little creative with the decreases after you've done split for your legs. You have to do some decreases in here, and you're working in 2x2 ribs. So you kind of have to get a little bit creative as to where you're going to put those decreases to minimize the rib the least. And both of my legs, because the knit 2 purl 2 ended up I was in different places when I separated for the legs. One of them looks better than the other, but really, I don't think it's that big a deal. It's going to be inside their legs, and it's more just about, I haven't blocked these, and I don't know, even if I block them, how much they're going to stay pulled out, and I don't know how much I want to block them. So this yarn was Deep Stash, unlabeled. It's a hand-dyed superwash merino nylon, but again, this garment is not a longevity garment, so the mum could easily throw this in the washer and dryer, and because baby's only going to stay in this for a few months anyway, then it'll be too warm to wear it here anyway. By the fall, I don't know if this would fit. Now, there is a lot of stretch, and I did make the legs a little bit longer with the thought that they can be cuffed. The way I've kind of seen it sometimes is the waistband and the legs are cuffed when the baby is little, and then they can grow into it. But the rib does give a lot of options. So we'll see. I'm going to, I have another project that goes with this in WIPS. But yeah, I was really happy with this. It's fairly brainless. You're doing some increases in here to make enough room for the crotch, and then you just kind of decrease along here, and then you just have to seam it up when you do your legs. So when you split for your legs, you decrease. Sorry, you don't decrease, you cast off. You cast off on these two edges here, and then put your legs on two separate, on a holder and a needle, and then work small circumference. So I was able to use a 9-inch circular for this leg, which was great. I just was around and around and around. Once I figured out the decreases, I did get a little bit of spiral pooling on the legs when it became a smaller circumference, but I think it's fine. It's fine. They almost match. They do match at the bottom. So yeah, I need to, once I get the other project that goes with this set done, I'll wash them both together. Lightly block. I'm not gonna pin block it or anything. I'll just wash it and kind of give it a quick stretch and lay it out to dry. Because like I said, I don't want to lose that clingy ribby, which will help keep it up. Yeah, baby pants. I do have some more finished things that I will show you in design chat. They're the socks I was showing you last time, the turtle pearl self-striping. We'll talk about that more in finished objects. I've done something different with my lighting today. It seems to be working okay so far, so bear with me. I've had some problems with lighting the last 2 episodes, and I'm tired of apologizing for it, so I just need to figure out a better way to do this with the current lighting conditions. I should say. Okay, so that's it for FOs. So we're going to hop over into WIPS, and let's start with some things that you've already seen. So Laia by Isabel Kramer is a fingering weight top-down yoke construction. Has a beautiful lace panel at the top. I will have put a picture in here, or if I haven't, I will now. I've already knit a Laia as a long-sleeved winter project and held in a lace weight and 2 lace weights. A lace weight fingering coast from Holst and their lace weight Titicaca in a really nice purple. I can't remember what color. Put a picture here. I decided to do a different take on this. This was something I started in 2024. And then I was getting to the end of the summer season and running out of time, so I just hibernated it. I pulled it back out because we're heading into t-shirt season, and I want to have this as a booth sample for Deborah at Yarn Indulgences. This is her silken linen blend. It is, I always forget which way we go around. It is 65% silk and 35% linen, so it's very smooth and drapey. And let's see if the lighting is going to cooperate for this. So Yarn Indulgences, somebody had messaged me earlier this week or late last week asking if Deborah was going to be having silk and linen back. Yes, she is. Just doesn't have any in her shop right now, but it will be coming, and as soon as I know, I will let you know. So, I showed you this last time. I was round and round on the body. I had put a stitch marker in. There she is. Right there. So I've done a few inches. So this is being helical knit. I'm using 2 balls of the silk and linen. And I'm just knitting 1 round in 1 ball, and then slipping the last 3 stitches of the round, and then picking up and knitting with the second ball, just to try and minimize any pooling where this is hand-dyed yarn. So this is on a small needle, just because I'm going around and around and around. But yeah, this has just been nice, brainless, if I just needed something quick to pick up and just do a few rounds. So it is moving along. I am, I'll show you which side. I have doing my A-line increases down each side. I usually put stitch markers in, but I was out and about knitting and I didn't have any stitch markers, so I just have 1. But you can kind of see there's little holes here and there as I'm about every 8th round, 7th or 8th round, I'm doing basically getting 4 increases in round 2 on each side of this stitch marker. and that is to accommodate my pear shape. It's not written in the pattern, but as I said, if you were interested in that modification video, I talk about what I do there. So I am procrastinating because I need to snip both of these yarns, pick up the sleeves and do the sleeves so that I can get them done before I run out of the first ball of yarn. So when I'm alternating skeins like this, so I have one that's bigger and one that's a lot smaller. I did the whole yoke just in one because I don't want to be adjusting and switching skeins during the lace work and the complicated pattern. Once the lace work is finished, then I picked up the second skein and started alternating them in. But I do need to, I hate to do it because basically I got to snip 2 yarns, create another weaving in point. But I need to get these sleeves done before I finish the body because I want to make sure I can incorporate this and this into the sleeve. Once I run out of this one, I will just pull from the inside and the outside of the ball just to make sure that I'm breaking up any potential pooling. So that is still on a slow simmer. I am going to have to speed it up because I do want it ready for the Fiddlehead Fibre Festival, which is happening in Florenceville, Bristol, and New Brunswick, Canada, April 11th and 12th. Details will be linked. The website will be linked below. We will be there for the weekend. There will be classes. I will be teaching. And there's lots of other things happening and a marketplace and loads of fun socializing time and hanging out. I've talked about this last time and I don't want to keep going on. Let me show you the companion project to the baby pants, the leggings. I had loads of this yarn left and I probably still have enough to do something else. I don't know if I'm going to have time to do that something else. But what I thought I could do quickly, sorry for that, it's the zipper bumping my stand here. What I thought I would do was a pair of baby socks. So this is the Perfect Newborn Socks by Tabitha Gandy. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I just did it as a 2x2 rib because it went great with the pants. But in the pattern, it also has an option to do kind of a cable thing and built into this 2x2 rib. So I did adjust the pattern a little bit. Again, it's a free pattern. I think it tells you to cast on 32 stitches, so 16 on each needle for magic loop. I decided to do 36 stitches, 18 stitches on each needle for magic loop, because that's the only way you're knitting this unless you're doing DPNs, and no thank you. Because I've knit, I'm looking on my bulletin board. I have one of these socks up on the board and I knit it to gauge and size and it was too small and I only made one. So now it's just sitting on my bulletin board as a mocking reminder. So I just thought I would do slightly bigger because again, with the rib, it's going to hold on. And again, you could cuff this if you wanted to. So yeah, it's a top down, heel flap and gusset, decrease down to the foot with a little toe. So I have finished one and the second one, I think I have just finished the gusset decreases. So this is, a half an hour to finish this. And then I can get them blocked with the pants. I was tempted to make a hat as well. And I may still make a 2x2 hat maybe. Because I would have loads of yarn. I just don't know if I'm going to have the time. Because I need this finished by the 20th of February. So we'll see. We shall see. Never say never. But yeah, so this one will be finished next time you are here. Or the next time that I am here. Let's stay on the sock train. I thought I'd better get cracking on my Christmas man socks. I have three guys that I knit socks for Christmas gifts. And they're bigger and generally not as fun, pretty colors. So I thought I should get going on it. So I grabbed some yarn out of my stash. I should show you that first. I have my darning needle kind of woven in here because I was away for the weekend and I just wanted to make sure I had a darning needle to Kitchener toe because I thought I was going to get to where I needed to Kitchener, and I did. So it's a German sock yarn. Colorway is S27. It will be linked below if you're interested. So it's kind of a self-striping, self-patterning in these really pretty blues and grays. And I've made really good headway. Oh, I should show you. I'm using Filcolana Arvetta in this gray for the heel and toe, and this is 954. Stuff is falling out of my bag. Okay, so this is, I have one finished sock, and I'm working on a second sock. I'm concerned I might have knit this one a little long. I didn't have my sock ruler with me when I went to stay with Sam on the weekend. Yeah, I knit a 68 stitch sock for this gentleman. He's too big for a 64, too small for a 72. So you can see the self-patterning with the stripes with the blues and grays. This light gray one is a little odd. It kind of disappears, but it's okay. It's fine. And then with that light gray heel and toe, I think that really worked. So what I've done is one of my 8 stitch sections. It doesn't show up fantastically well. This is from the new pattern collection of columns. It doesn't show up particularly well on this yarn, but as you know, I just need something to do in a sock. Plain vanilla doesn't fill me with great joy. So this one is finished, and this one I got cast on and got working on. So I've put a stitch marker in here as to where I started the heel, just to make it easier for me to line up, to make sure I start when I rejoin in the round for the instep, that I'll be on the right round so they match. Again, not a huge deal because can you really even tell there's pattern in there, but it's the little things. It's the little things. So that is on the go and not terribly exciting, but needs to be done. I'm making it as fun as I can. And then the other sock that I have on the needle going right now is a Wigget sock using the yarn from the pattern. So I've got one up on my wall there, but Wigget sock is a pattern that released end of January. It's one of my patterns. It was based on this yarn that was gifted to me very kindly by Emma from Eldenwood Crafts, and based on the Woolly Wiggets, which is a group of knitters who met at The Vine, a historic house in the UK. And I have history there as well. If you can watch the last episode for all the details. I knit my pair for my samples for the photography. Now I just need to keep one. I still have all of those pictures from my original photography, but sometimes I like to do extra things for sales and special events, or if I just want to keep one. So I decided to knit myself, to keep one of the sample socks and to knit myself a matching one. I made sure this would fit me because I want a sock. I want to have this in my sock rotation to remember my weekend, and yeah, all the happy feels. So this is in progress. While we're talking about it, I know we're not in design chat, but I wanted to say a huge thank you. This launch was amazing. I was donating all of the money for the first, it ended up being 8 days because we were getting close to a big number and I wanted to get there. I was able to donate $1,500 to the New Brunswick Heart Center, which takes care of, it's our regional heart center. It does quite a large amount of real estate because we're a smaller populous area. And somebody rightfully corrected me, it is also the heart center for Prince Edward Island. So they took fantastic care of my lovely Brad in 2018, and it's become a yearly tradition that my late January, early February sock launch, the donations go to them. This is my 3rd year, and it was my best year. So we raised it was actually $1,495, and I kicked in the extra $5 to make it $1,500 because I love a nice round number, and it was amazing to send that money to them. I was happy. It was a great day. Yeah, I had a great day last Tuesday to be so lucky to do that. So back to these, they're in progress. For me, they're a fairly mindless knit. I can read what's happening between the slip stitches and the purl rows, and then the texture pattern on the back. It's very easy to read where you are. So I took the man socks and this sock with me to Sam's when I was up there on the weekend, because we watched Wicked. So I've been singing Wicked again nonstop. We watched Wicked. We watched In the Heights, which I had never seen before. It was also directed by the same director who did Wicked, and there was quite a few similarities. I was picking up a lot of Hamilton vibes because Lin-Manuel Miranda, and yeah, then we watched Wicked. We did lots of cooking and cleaning and stuff. Rob's away, so I was trying to help Sam get some stuff done because it's super busy at her work right now, and I'm into live chat and I'm not in chat. But yeah, we had a great couple of days together, talking nonstop as we always do. And I was going somewhere with that. Oh, on my drive home yesterday, I was listening to my audiobook and I'm enjoying it, but it was I was tired, and the drive was quite monotonous. So I ended up putting on a Hamilton soundtrack at full blast and singing my way home. It was great. I pulled in the driveway and Brad came out to help me unpack, and the music was still playing. He's like, "Can you turn that down?" I'm still singing along. I'm like, the song's not done yet. But I have an electric vehicle. I have an electric car. And in these cold temperatures, they do not perform well. So I'd had to charge just to, part of the way home, just to give me a little bump up to make sure I had enough to get home. It's never usually an issue, but at minus whatever it was yesterday, it was very cold again yesterday. And my car had been sitting for 2 days, so the battery was very cold. It didn't want to take a charge. It didn't want to take a charge very quickly. I came home yesterday afternoon on fumes. I think I had 15 kilometers of range left, 13 kilometers of range left. It's probably the closest I've ever come, but I knew I was coming home. I knew I was going to make it home. If I was going out into the world, I would never let my car get that low. But it's one of the weaknesses of EVs, especially in this cold. The good news is this cold doesn't tend to stick around here for very long. It has been this winter, but it tends to only be a few days at a time. And it just happened to be the few days that I was heading to Fredericton. And ironically, the last time was when I was heading to St. John and back in one day. And it was also a bit of a pain. Stop talking. Twaddle. Reset. Back to knitting. I'm going to show you something. I'm test knitting a pattern for, I know I don't test knit anymore, but I do. This is a new pattern that's coming out from Deborah at Yarn Indulgences. I'm going to put some pictures in up here. It's a brilliant idea of a scarf. Think, these cute little single scarves that sometimes styling can be a little tricky. Some people have the flair for this, and I just don't. So I'm going to put a couple pictures in up here of me modeling a couple of Deborah's samples. She wanted me to take some pictures and video. And it's genius. It's got these increases and decreases, so you're getting little spots where you can wrap and knot. So I can't do it with this because it's short. Anyway, let me back up. This is the Water Song Scarf. It's going to be released later this month. Deborah designed it to knit her Surrey fluff base held double. So this is a Surrey alpaca silk base with a fantastic yardage. Oh, there's a me hair or an Archie hair. I can't tell. So sorry. So it has the yardage of mohair, but it's a thicker lace weight fluffy base, and it's a softer lace weight fluffy base. I kind of describe the difference between the Surrey silk feels downy and just fluffy, whereas mohair can feel a little hairy. You don't get the hairiness on the Surrey. So her pattern was designed to hold the Surrey silk double. I decided to use, this is the yarns that I used to knit my Lift Me Up mittens, or Menant Drolets, La Violette Knits Lift Me Up mittens, when I tested those last fall, was it? So these are the two yarns I had left over. I had loads left over. And I'll probably still have loads left over. But I thought it'd be fun to try it with fingering and Surrey instead of the Surrey plus Surrey. So I am doing this on a 3.5 millimeter needle to get gauge. Stitch gauge isn't terribly important, but row gauge is a little more, because you want to make sure it's long enough for the decreased sections to do what you need them to do. So it has 5 sections. I am working on the 3rd section, which is the longest. And then it'll be a repeat of this section and a repeat of this section, decrease, and I'm done. It's quite rhythmic. Once you get the flow, it's very easy to do. I just have to look at the pattern when I'm doing the increases and decreases. Once I get back up to the stitch count, I'm putting a stitch marker into the slip stitch center. So then I know I'm counting slip stitches up the front. I don't have to keep track of my rows. I just need to count those slip stitches to get to the row amount. I am getting row gauge, so I don't need to adjust mine. It will also stretch a little bit when I block it. But I don't want to block it. I don't want to overly aggressively block it. I want to keep that garter fluffiness, squishiness. It's lovely fabric. I mean, there is not a bit of prickle on this. So if you're coming to any of the yarn events in the Maritimes and eventually Knit City Montreal, I'm sure Deborah's going to have this kitted up, or lots of options for you to choose your own. Either just pick a Surrey and go nuts, or whether you want to do it with a fingering weight base. So the pattern will be available. I'm not sure yet. So I will let you know when it's available. Definitely be showing it on Instagram when I'm done and can show it off, because it's not something I can show at this point. But like I said, I will have put some pictures in there, and perhaps even a video showing me tying it. And last but not least, for the yarny goodness, is my Lento. So I was talking about this bag incoherently last time, and Sadie from Topsail Canvas very kindly commented on it and said this is the Eastport locker, and yes, it is great for keeping your balls separate from each other so they don't tangle. I can't remember what she said. In the last episode, she commented that she had a crazy number of balls that she was using in one project, and she did use this, and it was brilliant. So Sadie will be at a lot of local yarny events in New Brunswick, and she also has a great online shop. So I will have her linked below if you're interested. These lovely heavy-duty canvas bags that we all love. So in this bag is my Lento. So I have, can't remember where I was last time, so I didn't put a marker in. But oh, this color is doing its thing again. Oh, no, it's not. Stop that. So I have split for the sleeves. I think I had already done that last time. So the sleeves are on hold on try-on cords. I am doing my A-line increases down the side. So I tried this on Friday. I think I tried it on Friday or maybe Saturday morning. I just wanted to see where I was at. I've had some feedback. People found the neckline very wide. I tried it on. As long as I don't overly block this, it will be fine. I found I've got a nice fit on the neckline here and a good fit around the shoulders. So now I just need to get those increases done to make room for the rest of me. So I posted this on Instagram and said, oh, I'm going to have this done for the winter gathering. not realizing what date it was in February and what date we were meeting up in Sussex for the winter gathering, which is February 21st and 22nd. I am in no way going to be wearing this. I will be working, I hope, on the sleeves. This is in no way, shape, or form of reality going to be done in 13 to 12 days, 10, 11 days, wherever we're at now. Okay, let's see if I can hold this up the right way this time. Last time I had the tilia upside down. So this is Filcolana arvetta in the fingering and the tilia in the for the fluff. And this for a mohair is very, very nice. I think it might be one of the nicest I've had for a commercial mohair. I think it's 30% silk, which is probably why. Yes, 70% kid mohair, 30% silk. And then the arvetta is 75-25 superwash merino nylon. 80-20 superwash merino nylon. So sock yarn. This is what I was using for the heel for the man socks. But this combination, it's so good. So good. So I'm on the second, I had 5 balls of each. I'm working on my second set of balls of yarn. So I will finish this set of balls and then I will probably put this on hold and do the sleeves. And then I'll come back to the body and see where I'm at as far as the length I want it to be at. Usually when I do this kind of loose gauge sweater, think ranunculus or Wilfreda, they tend to be quite cropped because I pick up 2 indie dyed skeins, so 200 grams of fingering and 100 grams of fluff mohair or suri, and it goes as far as it goes, and they can be quite cropped. So this one I picked up an extra 50 grams of the fingering and 25 grams of the mohair. So I hopefully get a bit more length on the body so I don't have to wear it with a tunic underneath. I could just wear it with a tank or just with my jeans with a bra underneath because it's so soft that I could easily do that. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah. I was looking at my eyes. I'm being very vain going, oh, it's going to make my eyes pop. Being very vain. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, the color. Yeah, so this is trundling along in the background. I would love to have this done so I can still wear it this winter. And I think if I'm reasonable and don't take stupid amount of stuff with me to Sussex to the winter gathering, I could get a lot of this done because it's just simple round and round knitting. I can be drinking and chatting and table hopping and all of the things and still be able to. I don't know what the sleeves on the Lento are, but I'm going to knit them straight down, then do a rapid decrease and do a cuff, a ribbed cuff, which is what I always do for these because I find it with my work, I need to be able to pull my sleeves up with the original ranunculus with an I-cord edging. I can't get it up high enough to get me out of the water or the wine that may be splashing on me at work. My stitch stopper just went flying off. So now we're going to put this down and be very careful. I will find that stitch stopper later. It's down by my feet and I don't want to have to move. I don't want to have to move you. So that is it for knitted WIPS. We're going to, I have done a bit of cross stitch, but I'm not going to show you because I don't think there's been enough work on there for you to see that it's any different. But I have still been in love with the embroidery. So I think I showed you this last time. I had pulled colors to do another one of the Monogram hoops. So this is for my son's partner, Cassandra. It's her birthday in April, and I thought this would be cute for her. So I picked some stronger colors than mine and more of a fuchsia pink. Actually, this is the darker pink in mine. And then I just pulled the purple out with a darker green. Really happy. As you can see, I haven't finished it. I have to go back to my Skillshare class and refresh my memory because I've only ever done that once before. I know I have to trim this and do a running stitch and then sew on the felt backing like the other one. So speaking of Skillshare, Skillshare is very kindly sponsoring this video. Skillshare is the largest online community for creatives with thousands of classes led by industry experts across film, illustration, design, freelance, productivity, and more. Most importantly, there's a good chunk of crafting stuff on there. Skillshare can help you take your career, skills, hobbies, passions, or side hustles to the next level. I've been exploring Skillshare again because I wanted to up my embroidery skill levels. I wanted to get better at other stitches that I haven't done for years. Things like satin stitch, French knots consistently. So yes, there's some fun, more advanced classes. I've got 2 options that I want to do, and I can't decide which one. So I thought I would get your opinions. If you have an opinion, I'm looking at either this plant one, like cacti succulent, or a really pretty floral. I have watched the beginning of both of those classes on Skillshare, and it's definitely within my skill level. I'm just wondering if all of that satin stitch on the cacti, is going to be irritating or monotonous. And I really do like that floral because it's got it's got satin stitch in it, but not quite as much. What I have done in preparation, I got some larger hoops because both of those pieces, without me having to resize, actually, I'm lying. The floral one comes in 3 different sizes, and I could have done that with my smaller 4-inch hoop, 5-inch hoop. I think that's what I've done. Yeah. So I picked up some hoops. I've got 4 of them here, so I can play around with. I may end up doing both of those embroideries, but for right now, I want to pick one of them, which will move my skills along for embroidery. So I would invite you to go and check out Skillshare. Skillshare has very kindly given me, there will be a link right below. The first 500 people to use the link in my description will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. So get started and explore and see what you can learn today. Okay, let's do a little design chat. So I showed you some of these socks last time. Well, I think I might have showed you all of them. Did I? I can't remember. Anyway, I have all of my samples knit. So I used from Turtle Pearl Yarns, lovely Emily, I used Twilight, Lavender Sunrise, and Wild Rose. So Emily was in to see me at the wine store last week, and we were chit-chatting about things. So I have some actual firm details on this. I'm going to give you a little bit of a sneak peek. So this pattern is going to release on Wednesday, February 19th. That week, I think it's actually the 17th, but we're going with the 19th for various reasons. Is my design anniversary. I published my first sock pattern in February of 2022. So I like to have a little sale every year to say thank you, because I had no idea when I started doing this that this is where I would end up, and being invited to work with such beautiful yarns and come and talk to you guys, because that all came out from a sock pattern as well. I came onto YouTube for the first time because I needed a tutorial for a sock pattern. It didn't exist, so I had to create it. So I did, and linked it to the pattern. It was the Smoke Gets in Your Eyes pattern. It's a 2/1, 1/2, 1/2 cable without a cable needle. Just a simple little rhythmic, oh, love it. Yeah, and then that led to me coming on and having a big glass of wine before I started, and then chatting with you, trying to look at the camera, which I do still struggle with at time to time. Yeah, so February 19th for, I don't know if it's going to be a week or 2 weeks, but it'll be on Instagram, and I will be here to give you a quick little, I'm going to try and do a mini-sode kind of vlog while we're in Sussex at the winter gathering, and then come and talk to you and launch the pattern and the sale. So I want you guys to know that the sale is going to start February 19th. It's going to be 25% off all of my patterns. So they'll be $375 Canadian each. Somebody from Australia had commented that it was more expensive for them, and I do apologize for that. Exchange rates, the world, we're not going there. Drink. February 19th. All of my sock patterns will be on sale, including this collection. I normally do a charity project for my releases, but sometimes, for various reasons, this one I want to do as a big thank you to you guys. And you discount on all of my patterns, but this brand new pattern, because some of you lovelies have all of my patterns and I'm just blown away by that. Thank you. This will give you a chance to get this collection of columns is what this is called. If you weren't here last time, it is going to be 6 patterns. You get these, they're all 8 stitch wide columns that you can insert into your socks any way you like. I have done it as 2 columns, as a column on each side of the sock. So my testers have been super creative, and I'll be sharing their pictures on Instagram. Some of them I had suggested, you know, you could combine these columns and make a panel across the front of the sock, or you could do it down the back. You could do it. Anyway, the world is your oyster with this. You can get as creative as you like, or you can just follow the pattern and get a beautiful pair of socks using self-striping or busy yarn to show off. If you don't like a plain vanilla sock, it's a great way just to have a little bit of interest. If you do like a vanilla sock, this is also a great way just to build some extra little fun into your sock or learn something different. There's 2 lace charts. There's some texture. There's a couple with 1/1 twisted stitches that you can do without a cable needle if you want to. There'll be a video tutorial linked in the pattern for that. So February 19th, these will be hitting Ravelry. And like I said, I am hoping to be here on the 23rd or 24th with a little mini-sode, hopefully with some vlog footage if I don't completely forget to pick up my camera and vlog, and talk to you about the weekend and talk to you about the socks. So yeah, I have cast on a sample for this year's breast cancer fundraiser in April. I always do, well, always, this is my 3rd year doing a boob themed sock. So I have been playing around with some motifs. I was last time as well. I've finalized it. I've decided the pattern is getting written up. I just need to nip a sample and it'll get into testing quite quickly, because I do need to get that into testing so we can launch it at the beginning of April. Yay. All right, let me just put these down. What else is on my list? I've got a couple of things in my basket. I did want to show you with Turtle Pearl. So just for example, the Lavender Sunrise, I easily have enough left to do another pair of socks for me with the contrast. I haven't weighed these, to be perfectly honest. I will weigh them. So I have enough in here for another 3 pairs of socks in each of the colorways. So they'll be going into my stash. They'll be going into my stash to knit socks for family or friends or me. I need to empty this project bag. I need to get them bundled up into their matching contrast colors and putting them away somewhere in my stash in their own little baggies, so they're all kept together and ready to go when I feel inspired. Oh yes, I keep forgetting to mention this. The 5K gift away, I had somebody, the first winner never got back to me. I redrew on episode 43. Yeah. Episode 43, I redrew, and we haven't had a winner for that one either. I'm going to hang on to this for now because I still have a prize here. So when something comes up I need a prize, I will do a gift away for something. But right now I'm just going to let this marinate here, and I'll get back to you on that. When I need a prize for something, it'll be here. What came into my house this week other than hoops? I visited with my friend Lori yesterday. Try not to get some glare. Is that ever pretty? So this is Bramble Ridge out of BC. They are a Canadian maker. This is a Superwash Merino Nylon blend. I happened to mention to my friend Lori that I love this blend. Lori is a newer spinner, and playing around and learning what she likes and what she doesn't like. And, you know, it's never perfect. I'm looking at my wee chickadee I'm not happy with. But this is incredibly joyful. This to me looks like Easter eggs, springy, happy. This may be the next thing to go on my wheel, even though I have lots of other things that probably should. I'm really, really happy with this. Thank you, Lori. It was a lovely gift. I went to Lori's house yesterday. She lives in Fredericton. And I got there about 9:45, 20 to 10. And we just talked and chatted and played with lovely Luna. And we knit. And yeah, and the next thing I knew, it was 20 after 1. And I had planned on being on the road to come home before noon. The time just flew. We just talked and talked and talked and talked. And I'm going to see her again at the Sussex Winter Gathering, and we'll probably talk and talk and talk and talk and talk again. Anyway, thanks, Lori. This may be on my wheel for Sussex, actually. Truth be told, I'm going to bring my Nano, I think. I don't think I'm going to bring my big wheel. I think I'll just bring my my Nano to spin my singles. That's so good. The only other thing I purchased was off of Amazon. I haven't taken it out of the box. Evil Amazon, I know, but these are Advent, like a build your own Advent boxes. They're all different. They're all numbered, and they were on sale for $6.99. So I picked myself up a set. I'm looking at it now thinking I really should have looked a little harder for something in blue and silver in my color scheme. My Christmas colors are not red and green. But here we are. It's fine. It's festive. I may even gift them to somebody. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll take it to the Winter Gathering and make that as part of the door prizes. I'll donate this for the door prizes for the Winter Gathering so somebody can build their own Advent, and I'll try again. I'll try again. I have boxes and bags. I just thought it'd be fun, and I just happened to see them. Yeah, I'm going to donate these to the Winter Gathering. So if you're coming, this could be a door prize for you to build your own Advent. Fun. So speaking of build your own Advent, it's in a very crinkly, shiny bag, but I got home yesterday. I was tired. I was cold. And I couldn't settle on what I wanted to knit on. Even though I do have lots of brainless things, I couldn't settle. So what I decided to do was go into my scrappy leftover stash of yarns, and I made balls. I think there's like 22 or 23 in here, and I wanted to take 25. Maybe I'll take 30. This is going to, I'll just do 25. So this is for the mini swap that we're doing at the Winter Gathering in Sussex next weekend, February 21st, 22nd. And this is how I build my own Advent. One of them is going to be 10 gram minis like this. So I will bundle these in baggies of 5. And then we just have kind of a giant communal bin or basket on a table. And as many bags of 5 that you put in, you can take out. So I will get my Advent calendar yarns from that. I'm just going to put this down because it's noisy. So I have just made 10 gram little balls. Sometimes I do them on cardboard tags so I can write what the yarns are. Some of them I didn't know, some of them I did. This is the yarn from my Dune Grass Socks pattern from Ginger Snap. I can't remember the actual color of the yarn. I'll put it on the screen. So yeah, I went through my leftovers and made up little balls. This is leftover from Titty Gaga from last year. These beautiful pinks. So my goals for Advent this year is I will have a 10 gram Advent. And as I was going through my scraps last night, I have so many that are between 3 and 5 grams. You know, I'm making up these minis and I'm weighing the leftovers, and it's 3 grams, 5 grams, 7 grams. So my goal is with my leftovers that are down there is that I'm going to make up a 5 gram Advent mini. Maybe to do another Cozy Memories. I don't know. thing with crochet, if you're doing it along a 5 gram mini isn't even going to get you across a row. So yeah, I need to think about that. I need to find something to do with a 5 gram scrappy, not a garment. I don't want to do a garment with scrappy because it's going to be nuts. Yeah, so I need to find something to do with a scrappy other than a Cozy Memories. I have a Cozy Memories that I have not put a border on. So I could just add to it and make it bigger. That has promise in my head. Instead of starting something new, what I have, it's a nice lap size and I really like it. But I could just, 24 or 25 minis isn't going to make it that much bigger, but it would make it bigger. And then I could decide whether I want to border it or do it again next year and make it huge. Yeah. If you have any other thoughts on what I could do with the 5 gram Advent scrappy, yeah, let me know below. I'd be interested to know what you do with your 5 grams, with your under 10 grams. I need to do something with them because they're beautiful. A lot of them are leftovers from these. I didn't have quite enough to make another 10 grams, so they're just shoved in a bag because they're small. So yeah. So as I said, I went to Sam's for the weekend. Rob is away. Life stuff, chatty. Yeah, work's been busy. There's been lots to kind of plan and think about, and the day job and the knit job. The knit working has also been busy with lots to think about, lots to plan. Really looking forward to our knitting weekend next weekend. As I've said before, we're in Sussex, New Brunswick. It's called the Winter Gathering. I'll have it linked below. The website where you can find all the details is atlanticyarnfibre.com. There are no rooms at the hotel that we're staying, the motel that we're staying at, but there are other motel hotel options in the town of Sussex. We still have tickets left for the event itself. There's just no room to stay. There's no room at the inn to stay, but there's lots that we still have room to welcome more people to spend Friday evening with us and all day Saturday evening, and then we check out and leave Sunday morning. Have breakfast together and check out Sunday morning. So if you are in New Brunswick and are interested, please feel free to reach out to me for more details, or you can check out atlanticyarnfibre.com. Details are there, and we're also on Instagram for the same, Atlantic Yarn Fibre. And I will be happy to give you more details if you think you're interested. We would love to see you. I think that's it. I feel like I should have something else to say, but it's not coming to me. It'll probably come to me after I have turned off my camera, because you know what I didn't do? I didn't check my notes. Hold on. I'm just getting my note app on my phone. I'm just going to take you off the tripod and check my notes and make sure I haven't missed anything. Hold, please. Okay. I think we're in the same place. My camera's wobbling. Why are you doing that? It's fine. Yeah, actually I did okay with the 5K giveaway that we're just going to hold off on for now because neither winners have gotten back to me. I've lost my hand spun shift cowl. I've shown it here before. I've lost it. I cannot find it anywhere. It isn't where my cowls are stored. It isn't where my shawls are stored. I'm a little bit gutted. I'm just keep hoping it's going to turn up somewhere, that it's in a bag somewhere, that I took it with me, and I just haven't come across it as I'm scanning my craft room. It should be in my bedroom where I keep my knits. So I'll put a picture in here. It's using some of my first hand spuns. And I knit a shift cowl by Andrew Mowry, and I love it. It goes with a cardigan that I have, and I love to wear it in the winter because it's nice and close around my neck. And I haven't been able to wear it this winter because I don't have it. I've had a few people ask me for different how-to and tutorials. I do have them listed. I haven't forgotten. I just haven't gotten around to it, and I apologize for that. The other thing, I was telling my friend Lori yesterday, I think I might need to knit a shawl. It's been a while, but my Pebble Beach shawl by Curious Handmade, I knit it out of lace weight yarn. and it is probably my most worn shawl. It's in a more solid color. It's like a navy dark blue, and it's gorgeous. It would take me till probably the end of time to knit because it's lace weight and it's a lot of lace work. But it just crumples up to be so small. It's perfect to pack. I took it with me to England. I can wear it as a shawl over my shoulders or wrapped around my neck, bandana style, or looped through like a scarf. It's endlessly adjustable. And I do have some lace weight yarns down here in my stash to the right. And one of them, hang on, let me just see if I can grab it without causing upset. I can't remember how many yards were on this. I bought it because it was called Summer Wine. Yeah. So this is by Evie Knits. I bought this at the Loop in Halifax when I was a baby knitter. I was very new at this. This is 65% silk, 35% linen. It's a heavy lace weight, 115 grams to 691 meters. I need to check the meterage on my Pebble Beach. I don't know it. My future self will know it. To see the size that I could get. But I think this would be really pretty for the summer. Again, just something to hold off the air conditioning, either around my shoulders or looped around my neck. I could even wear it. I could definitely wear this in the winter. I do have a couple of other lace weight options down there, but one of them is blue, which I don't want to do. One of them is a dark burgundy, which I don't want to do. Stop looking away from the camera. I'm so sorry. Yeah, this might stay out for pondering. I need to see. I don't need to cast anything new on right now, but I said that Pebble Beach, I wear it so much and I really do love the feel of it. It's so light. It is definitely my most worn shawl. I have so many shawls I just don't wear for various reasons. Mostly because if I sat at a desk and was at a computer and typing and just doing officey things, it wouldn't be a problem. But at my work, I move a lot. I'm up, I'm down, I'm lifting up cases of bottles and wines, and it's a lot of movement. I just don't find a shawl stays where I need it to be. I end up with it kind of coming too loose, or it's trying to strangle me, or even with a shawl cuff or tying it, I just don't find it stays put. So it needs to be something that I can wear out in the world. So my litmus cowl that I finished at Christmas, my Every Which Way litmus cowl blend that I did over the holidays, I've really enjoyed wearing that this winter. It is nice and snug and a double thick against my neck on these super cold days. Okay, I have to stop because now I'm just rambling. But this is dream knitting. I am dreaming of knitting a shawl, which is very strange because I haven't dreamed about a shawl probably since that. That is a Vertices Unite by Stephen West. It was so good I knit it twice. It was COVID. It's modular, it's garter, it's interesting, it's playing with colors. Love it. Love it. That one kind of rekindled some knitting mojo for me because COVID was hard times. Hard times. All right, my lovelies. I'm almost on this wine. I'm a little bit on the pink side, and I might be a little bit on the tipsy side. But we're friends. You don't mind. It's time for me to say goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate having the conversations with you in the chats or on Instagram or wherever we do get to meet up, or even in person. Happy knitting, my friends. Happy sipping, and I will see you very soon. Cheers.